Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I am Adrian Ford, and we're here for another poetry discussion. There are poetry discussions to be found on this channel every day of the month, as this is a celebration of National Poetry Month. There will be Sylvia Plath on Sundays, William Blake on Mondays, Edgar Allan Poe on Tuesdays, Wednesdays with William Shakespeare, Emily Dickinson on Thursday, Robert Frost on Friday, and of course, Charles Bukowski on Saturdays. That is how we will be spending this month. Also, I think there are 162, 163 videos in the poetry discussion playlist here on the channel by this point. So if you do enjoy poetry, go over to that playlist and see if your favorite poem or poems that you might like are in that playlist already. Now, one more thing just before we get started. My personal channel is 45 subscribers away from 1,000. I thank every single one of you that has taken the journey over there and followed me there as well. That's where I talk philosophy. That's where I talk movies. That's where I talk just random things about the internet, goal setting, things like that. Just all of the randomness that you might find from a regular personal kind of YouTube channel. And we're here today with William Blake. And remember, I have sold William Blake as sort of a dour sort of fella, someone who preaches the fire and the brimstone, if you will, someone who is not a guy that you'd like to necessarily spend a whole lot of time with. That's how I have sold William Blake. But is that really the case? Because we have here a poem a little bit different than what it is we have been doing here with William Blake in the past. So let's see what's going on here. Laughing Song from William Blake. When the green woods laugh with the voice of joy, and the dimpling stream runs laughing by, when the air does laugh with our merry wit, and the green hill laughs with the noise of it, when the meadows laugh with lively green, and the grasshopper laughs in the merry scene, when Mary and Susan and Emily with their sweet round mouths sing ha ha he, when the painted birds laugh in the shade, where our table with cherries and nuts is spread, come live and be merry and join with me to sing the sweet chorus of ha ha he. I am realizing, so this is the first time that I've read it after I copy and pasted it into this document off of the interwebs, and I am realizing that it did something funny with the line breaks. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but this does have end rhyme schemes with a slight, with a slight slant rhyme with joy and by, though probably in my slovenly Midwestern tongue, it is a little bit different than the original English in which it was written. There would have been a bit of a different accent on things, but still, even then, I don't think they would have quite rhymed. Um, but what are we doing here? Why is this such a laughing poem from William Blake? Right? Isn't he the Hellfire and Brimstone guy? Isn't he the guy who talks about religion, and not just religion, but scary religion? Isn't that the guy? Isn't that him? Yeah, that's him. So what are we doing here with this poem? Well, there's one word here that really sort of makes things a little bit closer to the William Blake that we know and love. And let's read it one more time and see if you pick up on it. When the greenwoods laugh with the voice of joy, and the dimpling stream runs laughing by, when the air does laugh with our merry wit, and the green hill laughs with the noise of it, when the meadows laugh with lively green, and the grasshopper laughs in the merry scene, when Mary and Susan and Emily with their sweet round mouths sing ha, ha, he, when the painted birds laugh in the shade, where our table and with the cherries and nuts is spread, Come live, come live and be merry, and join with me to sing the sweet chorus of ha ha he. Did you catch it? It seems like it's saying, everything is alive with joy and mirth and merriment. Come over and grab a bite with me. Come on, let's sit together. Let's have fun. Let's all be merry together. Of course, that's not what William Blake is saying. Green woods laugh with the voice of joy. Have you ever seen the green woods laugh with the voice of joy? I have not. Dimpling stream runs laughing by. I don't think I've ever noticed the stream laughing. Or the air. Does the air laugh? Golly, no, not that I know of. And the Green Hills don't really either. Well, when they do, that's when you can come be merry with me. When the meadows laugh with lively green, and when the grasshopper laughs, then we can have lunch. When painted birds are laughing, oh, that's when we can have lunch too. That's when we can have lunch. So, is this a scene of merriment? Or is this saying, no, don't come talk to me. We're not going to have lunch together. We're not going to share a meal. We're not going to spread our table. Not until you hear meadows laughing. Not until all of this other stuff that's never going to happen happens. It's tempting to want to. So I think, especially when the word joy is thrown in there, I think it's tempting to try to take this at face value. Because today, in the modern world, I think you would be hard-pressed to go to any Christian church service in the United States of America, at least, and not hear the word joy once. I think it would be difficult to go to any church service in the United States today. And so joy here, the voice of joy. Turn on any of the Christian radio stations. There's like 8 words you'll hear in every song, and joy is one of them. Higher in almost every Christian song, joy. Words like that. So it's tempting, I think, in today's senses and sensibilities to take this at face value and imagine that it's really a lively and merry poem. And then, you read some other William Blake and you think, where did this come from? It comes from exactly where the rest of William Blake comes from, as long as you're paying attention to every word. When these impossible things happen, we will laugh together. But until then what, Willie? So, yeah, I think that this is more on par with Blake than it otherwise seemed. But is it? Because that sure is a funny twist. That sure is something awfully entertaining and makes you want to laugh, ironically, with him. Laughing song. But is that the point? That is William Blake conscious of his persona in the writing? The way Bukowski was so conscious of the persona of being the dirty old man, the way Hemingway was so conscious of the persona of being the tough guy that drinks a beer. Is that what's going on here? I'm not sure, but I think it's funny, and I think it's absolutely one of the most important William Blake poems, so long as you know something about Blake, because it gives us a little bit of insight into the person who wrote the poems, as opposed to just the brilliance of the artwork and the words themselves. That is all I have for this poetry discussion. Again, there are poetry discussions every day of the month here. There is an entire playlist of 160 plus poetry discussions on the channel, so make sure you check that out. And I'll be back tomorrow with more poetry, and I hope you have you here for that as well. And be sure to check me out on my personal channel.